Blades of Steel was released in 1987 in the arcades and ported to the Nintendo NES in 1988. And it's made by Konami, fine maker of excellent games. Yeah, all around Konami sports game, which wasn't highly unusual, but out of their normal realm of specialty. And Blades of Steel, we can select between 1 and 2 player games, and in the 1 player game we can select between Exhibition, which is just a one game match, or Tournament, which is a ladder tiered tournament for the Stanley Cup, or the Konami equivalent of the Stanley Cup. And we get to choose between 8 different teams, 4 Canadian and 4 US teams. The cities are real, but the teams are fictional. The colors don't actually match the actual colors of the real NHL teams from those cities. But yeah, it wasn't made to be a sports simulator like today's modern sports games. Also, there's 3 levels of difficulty, and that's they denote it as leagues, and that just determines how difficult the computer AI is in the game. I went with the Pro, which is the hardest. But yeah, and the Pro AI is pretty tough. They're pretty aggressive at scoring, and pretty relentless, and they'll actually beat you in a fight if you're not careful. Which brings me to the main point in the game that made the game marketable and fun to play, was you could actually get into a fight in this game. And to get into a fight, you have to bump into the opposing player with the puck 3 times without hitting another player, and it'll start the fight sequence, which is a little mini game, and it's quite fun. It's fun to play in a 2-player mode where you're trying to pound your friend. The winner of the fight gets the puck, and in an unprecedented break from hockey rules, the loser of the fight goes into the penalty box, which is kind of fun. It's a nice twist. And I love the little victory dance your team does when you score, and the other team is just kind of sitting there sulking back at the face-off line. It's kind of fun. I imagine their little digital faces sad, just waiting for you to return from your victory dance. And another fun thing about Blades of Steel is at the end of each period, you do a little synchronized ice skating routine with the other team, which is nice. It's a little ice ballet before you get down to the nitty-gritty of hockey in the next period. I should note, as far as gameplay is concerned, that when you're the defending team, you're controlling the flashing player, which you can switch by pressing, I believe, your B button. And that moves you to the next closest player on your team near the puck. But when your goal is in camera view, you also control the goalie simultaneously. Oh, and here we have, at the end of the second period, when it pulls up the scoreboard with the score, it goes into another little mini game, which is basically, it's you may recognize the mini game as a scaled down version of Gradius, at least one of the end bosses of Gradius, and you actually get to control the little spaceship during the mini game, which is kind of fun. That's only in the 1-player mode. And after the little Gradius sequence, we go into a little commercial for Konami games, other Konami products that were out at the time. And I don't know if this is the first instance of in-game advertising, but it certainly is an early one. And Konami was very innovative as a game maker, and they weren't shy about their prowess in making good games. Now, I already talked about defensive gameplay. Let's talk briefly about offensive. When you get control of the puck, one of your buttons passes it, and you use the directional pad while you're passing it to indicate what direction, which player you want to pass to. And your other button is your shooting button to shoot on the net, and that's about it. That's about the gist of controls, and it's pretty straightforward. The game is very playable. It's a lot more fun in 2-player mode from what I remember. But sadly, I don't have many people to play Nintendo with anymore. They're all off doing other important things. And here we have the end of the game. I got roundly trounced by Minnesota. And another little neat part is you get to gloat a little bit if you're Minnesota or the winning team. You do a little victory lap and a little dance. And they take a little snapshot of you at the end, I guess for a little Konami virtual newspaper for the sports section. There you go. So, all in all, fun game to play. It's better in two-player mode, but one player is still playable. And I'd recommend Blades of Steel, especially if you're a sports game fan. It holds up a little better than some of the older sports game titles. I'm your host, Dommy, for Classic Games Revisited. Until next time.